the derivative of this function is given by this formula, provided this limit exists. In this case, the function f x is given by 1 over square root of x. Okay, let's write down this, find the derivative f prime of x. Let me copy down the formula. Limit is h goes to 0 of f of x plus 8 minus fx over 8. That is on the bottom 8 minus fx, that's the given function, 1 over square root of x, so that's 1 over square root of x minus the first term f of x plus 8. So we need to find f of x plus 8. Look, f of x, so f of input is equal to 1 over square root of input. That means what is f of x plus 8? Using that rule, this should have been then 1 over square root of input, which is x plus 8. Okay, so f of x plus 8 is 1 over square root of x plus 8. Now this is pretty much a limit problem that we've seen in section 2.3. Now how to evaluate this limit? Look at the top, we have a fraction minus another fraction, so we need to combine these two fractions first. For that, we need to make common denominator. We need to take common denominator. So multiply second fraction by the bottom of the first. So square root of x plus 8 over square root of x plus 8. And first fraction multiply by the bottom of the second, which is square root of x over square root of x. Okay, so that is limit h goes to 0. 8. Now we have the common denominator on the top, that's square root of x times square root of x plus 8. Square root of x times 1 is square root of x minus 1 times square root of x plus 8, that's square root of x plus 8. Okay, we have a fraction divided by another fraction, so on the bottom we can make a fraction writing h over 1. Then change this division into multiplication, then h over 1 flips as 1 over 8. So let me write that here. Limit h goes to 0, square root of x minus square root of x plus 8 over square root of x times square root of x plus 8. That's the fraction on the top. Now we change this division into multiplication, and h over 1 becomes 1 over 8. Okay, that is now let me rewrite limit h goes to 0 of square root of x minus square root of x plus 8 over h times these two factors, so 8 square root of x times square root of x plus 8. Okay, now we need to evaluate this limit. When we plug in h equals 0, we're gonna get 0 over 0. Okay, so we cannot just simply plug in h equals 0. Somehow we need to simplify and cross out 8 from top and bottom. Since we have a square root, look, difference of two square roots on the top, so this means we need to multiply by its conjugate so that we can get rid of a square root and cancel h from top and bottom. So the conjugate of the top is square root of x plus this negative to positive, square root of x plus 8, and same thing on the bottom, square root of x plus square root of x plus 8. There was no issue on the bottom because we had 3 factors, so we don't multiply anything, we just rewrite everything. So 8 square root of x square root of x plus 8 times quantity, because it's plus, so times quantity square root of x plus square root of x plus 8. Okay, on the top now we multiply, it's kind of foiling, multiply this to this, first to last, second to first, and second to last. Okay, we distribute, we get square root of x times square root of x, simply x. Okay, we've seen this before. Square root of x times square root of x dx plus square root of x times this square root of x plus 8. We want to write both of them. Square root of x times square root of x plus 8 minus this one times this one. So minus square root of x plus 8 times square root of x minus plus minus square root of x plus 8 times square root of x plus 8. That's x plus 8. But you need to be careful. There is negative sign, so we need to put parentheses around. Okay. And when we multiply by its conjugate, the goal here is to cancel the middle two terms, and we should be able to get rid of all the radical signs. Okay, so middle two terms cancel, and what do we have on the top now? X minus x. When we distribute this minus sign, minus 1, so that will be limit h goes to 0. The bottom we have to keep writing. Okay, this is I don't have to put this parenthesis around. H is square root of x plus 8 times square root of x plus square root of x plus 8. It's kind of tedious to copy down. On the top, x minus x, and when we distribute this minus 8, so x and this minus x cancel, so minus 8 that survives on the top. Okay, because we need to distribute this negative sign. Then finally the h from top and bottom cancel. Okay, the h was the zero making factor. Now we cancelled from top and bottom. It leaves negative 1 over these three factors, and we replace h by 0. So negative 1 over, this h is gone, this is square root of x, replace h by 0, square root of x plus 0, just square root of x, and times quantity square root of x plus this h is 0, another square root of x. Okay, now we simplify this negative to the front over square root of x times square root of x, just x, times square root of x plus square root of x, two of them, 2 square root of x. We can simplify further, negative 1 over 2. So how many x's? X raised to 1 times x raised to 1/2. Okay, x raised to 1 times x raised to 1/2. So x, we add the exponents. X raised to 1, x raised to 1/2. 1 plus 1/2, 3/2. So x raised to 3/2. So negative 1 over 2 times x raised to 3/2. That's the final answer.